Have you ever heard a song that gave you chills or goosebumps? A piece of music so powerful that it literally makes your skin tingle? Well, scientists have an explanation for that, and it has to do with the way our brains process music and the chemicals that are released in response. In a nutshell, music can trigger a range of emotions, from joy to sadness to anger to fear, and those emotions produce a corresponding reaction in our bodies. But sometimes those emotions are so intense that they activate a reward system in our brain, one that's associated with pleasure and motivation. This produces a pleasurable feeling that can be so powerful it makes you shiver. Psychologist Dominic L. Arabaran, who researches music perception at the University of Montreal, explains that music can startle us or surprise us in a number of ways. It can be a sudden change in harmony or a shift in pitch or volume. He says when this happens, it activates a network of regions in our brain that are involved in processing reward. One of those regions is the nucleus accumbens. It's part of what's known as the mesolimbic pathway, or the so-called reward circuit. Neuroscientist Peter Voost of the University of Oslo likens this system to the way slot machines work in a casino. You pull the lever, and if you win, you get a shot of dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation. In this case, the music is the slot machine, and like a slot machine, some songs have a better chance of producing that pleasurable reaction than others. According to research, a few key elements can make a piece of music more likely to give you goosebumps. One is a build-up of tension that's then resolved, like a crescendo that finally ends. Another is a change in time signature or a shift from major to minor chords. And a third is a surprise entrance of a new instrument or a sudden change in dynamics between loud and soft. In other words, it's the unexpected that activates the reward system and produces that pleasurable feeling. But not everyone gets chills when listening to music, no matter how powerful or moving it is. So why do some people experience this and others don't? According to a 2018 study out of the University of Cambridge, it may have to do with your personality type. The researchers found that people who were more sensitive to their environment and had a tendency to ruminate or overthink things were more likely to experience chills when listening to music. They also found that chills were more intense in people with a particular genetic variant. According to co-author Tasha Sturm, people with this genetic variant have a more sensitive nervous system overall, and that translates to a more intense response to music. Still, it's not entirely clear why some people are more affected by music than others. The Cambridge researchers believe it could be related to how much meaning you ascribe to music. If you find a song particularly moving, or if it brings up a lot of emotion, you're more likely to get chills, and that makes sense because music is more than just a collection of notes. It's a cultural product that's imbued with meaning and emotion. Take, for instance, the hundreds of thousands of comments on a video I made about Goosebumps. One commenter wrote, "I get goosebumps when hearing or even thinking about certain songs that remind me of my mother. She used to sing them to me when I was a baby, and now they bring back great memories." Another said, "As a music teacher, I have hundreds of songs memorized. When a student performs one of my compositions during their recital, I get chills every single time." Our connection to music is deeply personal, and according to psychologist Robert J. Sternberg of the University of Illinois, that's probably why music can reduce us to tears or make us want to dance. We all need a way to express and cope with our emotions, and music provides that outlet. So the next time you hear a song that gives you goosebumps, take a moment to appreciate the power of music and the complexity of the human brain. Maybe even share your experience with others. Who knows? You might make someone else's day. All the people who make our videos possible. Starting with our patrons. We've got patrons. And then we've got our YouTube members. And then we've got everybody who watches our videos and shares them and likes them. All of you guys are what make our job possible. And for that, we thank you so much.